So we're at like 5 seconds right now, 8 seconds, whatever, 10 seconds. I thought we were going to start a little bit later than what that starting bell gave us, but it's okay. We're here now. What's going on, folks? I am talking to nobody, in case you were wondering, because, well, this is kind of how podcasts work. And what am I basically doing? I'm basically podcasting. Without a live audience, this is basically a podcast. Without editing, unfortunately. No, if I put this on YouTube later, I'll probably edit out, a few seconds here and there. But this is pretty good practice for future podcasting, future streaming. And I am happy to get back to this format that I haven't actually done in quite some time. It's unfortunate because, before streaming, before really even YouTube, before any of this was a big thing, podcasting was sort of the next big thing. In the early 2000s, even the late 90s, if you were a tech person. But as far as the 90s go, if you were a tech person, you really didn't. Nobody knew it. Nobody really knew what a tech person was back in the 90s. But early 2000s, I would say, podcasting before YouTube, before Justin TV, before Twitch, before all the quick hitting social media apps became a thing. Podcasting was sort of the new big thing. It still kind of is, just like how radio still is kind of a huge thing, depending on what you call a huge thing. Advertisers certainly still put money into podcasters and put money into radio, into even blogs and vlogs and all that kind of stuff. That's not exactly streaming and big time big production YouTube stuff or TikTok stuff, whatever it is, the big productions are now. But this is basically that, right? This is basically just live broadcasting a vlog, I guess you could say, because it's video. It's not just a podcast. But I guess that's my point. Is that we're all here, we're chilling out. This is basically how a podcast is run. I'm sorry, I'm just sharing this link right now. Because honestly, I don't care if anybody even comes in here. I can't tell how many folks are actually watching until somebody pops up in the chat bar there and says something. So I could have like -5 people watching right now, and I would have no idea. But it's good to, oh, hey, Nomshis, what's going on? But it's good to just, it's good for practice. It's good to just keep going. Pretend like you have 1 million people listening right now and just talk like you do. Now, it's a little bit harder without much of a script. I do have show notes, though. I do have show notes. And it's hard to read this, which I'm going to get to that point in 1 second. Let me see. I'm posting my socials right now. So what should I say? Watch me talk about life and airline food and women. Are women real? That'll make sense in 1 second. That'll hopefully make a little more sense than not. And just a second here, okay? Paste the old live link there. Get some good tags, right? There you go. Twitch streamer is trending, guys. So if anyone's watching this right now, just heads up. Twitch streamer. How was it, like, after 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, how was Twitch and Twitch streamer just not trending? How was it not trending, like, every single day of the week? There's 50,000 people, in any given, like, 10-mile radius that are on Twitch at any given moment. I don't understand how it's not. I'm even gonna hashtag podcast and podcaster, because podcasting, vlogging, all of this is essentially the same thing. It's essentially the same exact format, except you get to see me. And even then, even for podcasts now, they film them right in the studio. They have the actual professional cameras sitting there filming them. So it's, I don't know if um, the whole actual true to life audio only podcasting is even a thing anymore. Podcasters have to get dressed up now. They gotta get dressed up because they're gonna be on, on video. Okay. Um. So we're gonna get to the question of, are women real? In a moment. I did this out of order. You can tell how out of tune I am with this format. I love the setup too, by the way. I can see all my screens here, and I can see my chat bar, and I don't have to switch just to the game screen. I'm using I'm using a decent sized screen right now, but I don't have perfect vision, so I'd have to like tiny minimize the game in the future to even see it and to see everything else. But I like this Streamlabs OBS setup. It's pretty cool. So why do I have this? Why do I have this this open here? Let's come over here and see. So sugar is a big part of my life, unfortunately. It's a big scary part of my life. I am diabetic, in case folks didn't know. A lot of us are, unfortunately, in America. A lot of us are diabetic because of this. Basically, as the title says here, this article from NPR by the writer Camila Domonoske. We'll go with Domonoske. Anyway, this article, this is basically the reason why we're all diabetic, we're all overweight. 70% of us are overweight, by the way. And you can mostly thank sugar for that. I might have covered this briefly in another show a few months ago, but I have to cover this again because a lot of folks don't know this information. If you already know it, great. That's fine. But a lot of folks don't. But basically, yeah, 50 years ago, sugar industry quietly paid scientists to point blame at fat. So the gist of this entire article here, yeah, that's fine. The gist of this entire article is that they already knew. They knew over 50 years ago that oh, chat, hold on. So over 50 years ago, they already knew that sugar was the bad part for you. The sugar was the evildoer. Sugar was a joker. Fat's not exactly Batman in this scenario, but everyone knew in the scientific community over 50 years ago that that sugar was the one that's gonna fuck you up. I say fat's not the Batman in this because certain types of fat will over time build up that gunk in your heart, build up the plaque in your heart. But you can eat just fat and protein and be fine. You can eat just protein and be fine. You can't eat just sugar and be fine. Not even close. That's the issue here. But when the FDA went in there and asked Harvard, which one's a bad one, the sugar industry came along. They ran along with their 8 to 12 little spiky legs and said, you know what? Maybe you can say that fat is the bad guy. Maybe we're just gonna slide you some money here. I don't know if they actually say it in the article, but the actual amount that I had quoted, get out of here, fuck off. The actual amount that I had that was quoted at one time was $50,000. I think to each of the head scientists that were going to testify before, I guess some subcommittee in Congress. Yep, $50,000 in today's dollars for the research. $50,000 in today's money, not even back then, because $50,000 back then would have been $800 million now. But $50,000 in today's money is what they paid them to basically sell us off in the future, just to sell the country and by proxy the rest of the world's future, the rest of the developed world and the developing world, the rest of our futures for $50,000 in today's money. in today's money. That's horrible. If it was like, you know, like I said, 50 years ago money, that would have been actually worth something. I thought for a second I didn't have my sound levels here, but there they go. Okay. Whew. Yeah. So 50,000 in today's money is what it cost to completely. I won't say completely. You know, there is some personal responsibility aspect in there, but to almost completely, just almost destroy generations. You know, in the future, 70% of us are overweight. Like half of us have heart issues related to eating, mostly to sugar. Everything has sugar in it. Go look at anything that's, I guess we backtrack a little bit. So part of the reason that they wanted, part of the reason that the sugar even has an industry is because down in Brazil, I guess, I think like 90% of sugar comes from like Brazil, out in the sugarcane fields. I was going to say farms, but plantations. They're actually plantations. So most sugar comes from Brazil. Those guys are at it for like 12 hours a day. They have to deal with like snakes and, gorillas and the Portuguese. The Portuguese have like this little roaming, troving bands of like barbarians that come through the sugarcane fields. And they're like, give me your sugar. And, they have to fight off the Portuguese. The Spanish come along too sometimes. And they, I don't know what year I think this is, but like this is modern day, Brazil. I'm sure something like that happens. You can't prove me wrong. So anyway, so these guys are out there, making their sugar all day. And the point is that that's an actual industry. Fat, you don't really have a fat industry. There's not really somebody out there like Crisco isn't out there with their pigs out in the fields scraping the fat off of the off the pig's ass and dumping it into the little Crisco bottles. I mean, there's fat products, but I can name that one. I can name Crisco. That's it. So you can name 1,000 products right now. If you just walk into a store and just do this, every fucking thing has sugar in it, except some fruits or some vegetables. Well, both, some fruits and vegetables. So there's an actual industry to promote, I guess, the sugar, big sugar. Big sugar is a thing, obviously. So there is an actual industry, unlike fat. Fat can't really defend itself. There wasn't some fat industry or fat lobby to say, okay, we're going to come and we're going to defend fat honor. We're going to defend fat's honor here. Like I said, Crisco can't come up in there and say, hey, sugar, what are you guys doing? What are you doing over there? Why are you paying those scientists that money? But yeah, so sugar actually has an industry to lobby and to pressure these scientists. And 50 years ago, that's what they did for 50,000 in today's money. That's the most shocking part about it. 50 grand in today's money, and that wasn't even all like profit. That was for the actual study. But besides what they paid him, the general point of this is that they knew it was bad for us, and now I get to suffer a little bit for their for their greed. There was also a recent article. I don't know how to. Let me see here. A recent article about the new food pyramid and how basically the entire food pyramid is just one big propaganda poster for all the food industries. So whatever. Look at this. So I can't read this fucking shit. This small. This looks like what, sugar? Yeah. So sugar is obviously one industry. This is what, dairy? Dairy's an industry. What is that? What is this industry? It looks like, what is that, mayonnaise? I don't know if big mayo is a big issue, but there's plenty of sugar in mayo. I don't know what that is. But basically everything here is an industry. There's a grain industry. Grain's been around, since 10,000 years ago when we started irrigation, 12,000 years ago. Vegetables, they're definitely an industry. There's dairy, there's meat, that's an industry. So all these things are, how do I exit this? Everything in this food pyramid here is basically propaganda. And apparently, even the old one that we grew up with, us millennials, us mid-30s, and just below that, the ones that we grew up with were just pure like industry propaganda. Like none of this. This might kind of, sort of, be a good guideline for your food, but it's not. Like everything is influenced, like I said, by these industries. Everything is everything's influenced by big meat. So when you go to get yourself a hamburger, just think, man, big meat is really laying it on me right now with their propaganda. But besides industry puns, seriously, this apparently, all of this, even today, is just one big propaganda display for all these various industries. And our entire system is run by corrupt politicians and industry insiders and leaders that don't really care for the good of humankind. But what else is new? What else is new? The reason that I got on this topic, this isn't even, yeah, it is on here. I added this at the last second. Let me scratch that off. The reason that I got on this was because I have like comedically bad indigestion. I don't know what you call burping, but I have just comedically, legendarily bad burping to the point where it literally incapacitates me sometimes. I gotta take 2 or 3 of these like heavy duty gas X pills, and even that sometimes doesn't really do much. I can drink water, like this water right now. I'm probably gonna burp it up before the show's over, and it's a little disturbing that I'm going to, but that's when you grow up and it's just part of the norm to eat horribly because sugar's in everything and it's addictive, and it is addictive. I guess that's what sometimes your body just says, you know what, we're gonna make you burp up after you're 25, 26. From then on, you're just gonna burp up everything. Okay, we're not gonna no mercy here. no escape from the consequences of your misdeeds that you weren't even aware were misdeeds at the time, right? Whatever. It's fine. I'm learning what to do now. I'm learning how to live with it, and it's not the end of the world. My numbers are coming down, so little happy dance there. I am getting under control, but Jesus, when everything you eat just like a balloon, you just blow it up, and everything just makes the most gaseous pocket of hell in your stomach, and you just feel. I lay down for like an hour, and then it took like an hour and 20 minutes for me to even get on here from laying down, and it's just like so distracting to the point where I just don't want to do anything, and so I guess that's why I started with this little rant. Oh, sugar. Yeah, I could probably do like 3 or 4 hours just on sugar alone. Don't do it, boys. Not even once. So here's our main topic. So this is actually pretty straightforward. This is pretty the images here that came up are pretty tame. The images here are pretty tame. What is the web show? Are women real towards a comprehensive? What is this? Calvinist? What is that? Theological? Philosophical? Are women real towards a comprehensive complementarianism? Okay, this isn't exactly what I meant. What I really meant was, are women on the internet real? So this one automatically sort of this automatically is sort of the reason that. So we get an article here by Claire Riley from 4 years ago, but it doesn't really matter when it was from because 4 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, it's kind of the same problem, the same issue. Harassment of women online, the overbearing, insanely, intensely strong, like looming fear of just getting way too much attention for being a woman, just for existing. I like how it says one viewer here. It usually says 0. I don't really care, but just off topic real quick, it's always like either 1, 2, always either 1 or 0. And that's fine. I wish it would just stay there. Oh, are y'all rating me? Oh shit, I'm being rated by the Poke Boys. What's up? I'm gonna try to say your name right. I can't. Do you pronounce N's in French? I'll come back to you. Sancho, what's up? Big Daddy, what's up? X, what's up, by the way? I already said hi to Nopsis earlier. Did y'all just get done with the stream? Did y'all just get done opening? But anyway, hold on. I'm going to go back to the topic real quick. Online harassment of women. So the reason I brought this up is because in a Discord earlier in the week, we had what we were going to presume to be a woman drop by. Apparently, I've only been in there for like a month or so, but apparently that's a pretty rare instance in that particular Discord for any supposed woman, at least, to actually say hi, to say what's up. You know, all of us said hi, what's up, and just kind of commented on how rare it was, because it is kind of rare. Even on places like some of the biggest forums online, like Reddit, YouTube comments. Well, YouTube comments is a little more women heavy, but I'm heavily on Reddit these days. But like news sites, a lot of the biggest places to find news and to find stories and memes. There aren't too many women that admit that they're women. Not too many, women present, you could say. I just saw now that I got an actual, I got the actual notice that I've been rated. Thank you. Be sure to, be sure to just spam as many emotes in the comments as you can. I don't think I have a bot. Like, I don't think there's an actual bot working. So if you have anything offensive, now is probably a good time to do it. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of people or women who actually admit to or pretend to be women online. There are some men that do that, like with the V streamers or the just trolls, the catfishers. But she appeared to be an actual woman, and we just gave her the benefit of the doubt and said, "Okay, you're a woman. That's great." Well, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna laugh. It's she's not there anymore, apparently, and there's no direct reason. Nobody was DM'd, nobody was PM'd, whatever you call it in Discord. There was no direct reason, but there were a few reasons that you could decipher from the behavior of certain people in that Discord. Now, I try to be one of the boys as much as possible within reason, within a reasonable degree of of boys who'll be boysness, Anyway, I try to be one of the guys as reasonably as possible. Some of the guys were a little more one of the guys than the other guys. A few of them were a little more problematic, I guess you could say, than the others. And now she played ball. I'm not going to say that I'm not victim blaming here, but she played ball pretty well with some of them. So it's I'm not victim blaming. Okay, we're not going to victim blame here. What we are going to do though is say you have to be a little more compassionate, empathetic, a little more on the gentle side. Like, even if she hits the ball back into your side of the court, you have to gently lob it back into her side. You can't just you can't just go up for the grand slam. You can't just double-handed forward smack that sucker out of the park. You have to gently do these things. I gotta admit, if I had to put it into court, I guess I would side with her overall. 55-45 in her favor. But she was playing ball, going back and forth with the guys. You can tell she probably go up with a bunch of guy friends or, brothers or both, and that's fine. But after a couple of days, it was just like, I mean, I like to do, I've been in a situation before, and so what I always do is I say, okay, if we're just messing around, not being serious, and we're all just kind of this clique over here is messing with this clique, and this group is fucking with this group, then we can all do that. But it was only her and a few other guys that were just like they they served the ball first. They did the first toss like every day, and it'd be the same 2 or 3 guys every single day. No, Sancho, it wasn't our it wasn't your Discord. It was one for the Valley down here actually. Yeah, if it was, I would have messaged you, but yeah, the problem is one of the guys or 2 of the guys was actually a moderator of that particular sub, and he was one of the guys that got that ball rolling, multiple days in a row, without her actually showing any interest in in playing that type of game that day, and I guess just my point here is that you kind of have to read the room from time to time. Like just one free ticket isn't a free pass for the rest of your life to just say, okay, well, we're just going to keep this, this charade, these shenanigans up for the rest of time. It's kind of the opposite, right? Like we've come to learn or we've come to establish that well, what I just said, you don't get a one-time free pass for all behavior, for all actions, for the rest of the time. Like if you're intimate with somebody and she says no, or he says no, can be a guy too. If they say no, that means no. And as much as that sucks, it's just, no means no. And not saying yes is also kind of no. Like I said, I don't know if anybody would be convicted of sexual harassment or be fined for something or have some sort of negative, severe negative impact against them if this were put into court, if I said, okay, I'm going to sue you for what you said. I don't know if they would get that settlement, but just colloquially, just personally, socially, there's, I don't think, any reason to just, like I said, forget about social norms. And just like I said, every single day, I think it was, if I went back and looked at it, it'd probably be just consistent initiation, which is the point of the question that I asked Google: are women online real? Well, with certain behavior from us boys, I guess I can understand why I wouldn't want to be a woman online sometimes. And like I said from the beginning, I understand that. I totally understand that you probably don't want to come in with a female avatar. Anything that looks, pink or purplish, nothing that really gets that ball rolling too much. For like I said, not victim blaming, but I can definitely see why people would want to sort of cover up that profile, cover up that persona, and not just advertise it freely like so many folks do. What are these stats here? I haven't actually read it. 76% of women under 30 experience online harassment. I believe that. Unfortunately, 47% of all women experience online harassment. So what was the other one? Oh, under 30. Okay. 70% of women identify online harassment as a serious problem in 2016. It's a problem. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to debate these stats right now. This is how somebody feels. So if they feel it's a serious problem, then maybe it is a serious problem. I can agree, though, it is a problem, at very least. 38% of women choose to ignore online harassment. I mean, okay, only 10%. Okay, only 10% report perpetrators to police. Well, I mean, if it's worth it, you should. If it gets to that level of like I said, consistent, persistent, invasive harassment, definitely report it if you can, because it's one of the simplest things to do. I think that. So I've asked my guy friends, and I can ask all the guys in chat right now. I can ask anybody. I I can ask anybody watching. I can ask anybody, that comes by. Hey, have you ever sent a picture of your, sexual area? And almost every single guy that I've ever met said no. I think I met one guy that said they have sent unsolicited dick pics, but just assuming that most guys aren't sending unsolicited dick pics out just like that, we're gonna say maybe 5% or less of these repeated offenders are responsible for like 70-80% of all these harassments. Because I know with car crashes, something like 70% of car crashes are caused by like only 25% of drivers. So a very small number of people are responsible for a very large number of accidents, and repeatedly. Obviously, it's the Pareto principle. There was this guy like Niccolo Pareto or whatever. He was a legumologist. I forgot the name for like bean scientist was, but he was a bean scientist, and he went up there one day, and checked out all his little bean sprouts. He popped open all the pods and found that about 80% of the pods, or about 80% of we'll do reverse. Only about 20% of the pods actually produce anything, and those 20% produce about 80% of all the beans. And so he went on to publish that study a couple times. So he went on to publish that study and name that principle after himself, which I think is pretty cool. If you've ever worked anywhere, the Pareto principle comes into play very frequently. You can see that very few people actually do the majority of the work in a lot of places, unfortunately. But the Pareto principle is what I was getting at here, was that I think a very small number of men are doing most of the dick pics for women, and probably most of the harassment too. And like I said, that depends on how you define harassment. But the that kind of thing, I think is a very small number, just spreading their stupidity out very, very far and very, very wide. Not excusing their behavior at all. Just saying that I don't think it's most of us, fortunately. Women under 30, most upsetting experience. 1 in 10 of this Trivial Pursuit pie here say revenge porn and or sextortion. Do that many people film their stuff? Well, I guess it could also be unwarranted, like wanted. 1 in 4 say general threats of physical violence. Okay, that makes more sense. Or it makes sense as well. What is being targeted? 1 in 5 online harassment cases attack a woman's physical appearance. Yeah, like magazines. God, magazines are the worst about that. And it's just like part of their shtick. 1 in 4 lesbian, bisexual, and transgender women who suffered serious harassment said their orientation had been targeted. Why do they use this for this image? I don't know. But anyway, so are women online real? Yes, they are. And they're not always treated the best, obviously. And like I said, you really have to read the room like every day. If anybody has a problem with this and you think you might have a problem with this, one, I'm sure there are numbers to actually call. I'm sure there are websites to go and check out too. But the easiest way to solve it is just by kind of don't take the lead. If everything's, if everyone's playing ball and having fun and just talking shit, that's fine. But we have to, as men especially, not be the initiator, not be the aggressor every single time. Sometimes you got to let the ball magically, come to your court. And then if they want to play, then you can, go on about your craziness, your stupidity, your memes and all that. But yeah, us guys definitely have a much higher tolerance than women, for a good reason. I had little subcategories here for women online, like Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. And I guess that's like part B. Are women real? Part B. So, like I said, I'm on Reddit a lot, and I remember reading the statistic of the women to male ratio on Reddit. And it was something like 80-20 or 75-25, some very neck beardy, some very male dominated orientation of numbers there. 75-25, 80-20. That sounds about right. So I always ask the question, what do women do when they're on their phones? Like, are they just texting people? And I've asked multiple people this, like family, friends, my girlfriend, past girlfriends, past friends. What do you do online? Are you just on Instagram all day? Well, they are on Instagram. They are on Twitter. They are on Twitch. They are on, I don't know what's the other stuff now. TikTok. So it's just kind of they're there, and it seems to be like, I don't know, like if they show up, they're very eager about it, because Twitter is basically self-promotion, and that's fine. I'm on there too. I'm throwing out memes all day, every day for for the lulz, to promote myself and to have fun, just to make somebody laugh if I can. Twitter is, Twitch is, obviously, YouTube is, Instagram is. All this is basically for self-promotion and building your brand, building your persona up. Maybe building your actual business up if it gets that far. So I think it's good. I think it's good that the spaces where women tend to show up the most are in these spots of sort of like self-empowerment, I'm not going to go onto the titty streamer tangent right now, but I'll just say that at least it's good that we have, that when you do see more women online, it is in spaces like this where you can interact with folks and sort of have your own power. Like here, I can just mute everybody, stop the stream and then leave. And you have that power of doing it. You can report people and block people on here, on Twitch, Instagram, so on and so forth. So you have a certain level of power and control, and projection. You have that projection to get out there without being constantly harassed and PM'd and DM'd or whatever it is. But yeah, that's where women are. Apparently, they're on all the like everywhere else besides Reddit, I guess. I don't know how Reddit got so bad. I don't know why Reddit's so unpopular with women. I guess because it's not, a place to build your brand or to build yourself or, persona, which is, I guess it's fine. I just wonder why it's not as popular. Do you feel women have a slight advantage with likes, follows, viewers, etc.? Yeah, at least initially. Like I think they can get up to like that, 3,000 to 5,000 mark much easier than guys can. But I think after that, guys have an overall advantage. It's kind of like the whole art thing. If you're not into like tabletop games or Magic the Gathering, name one famous female artist. Without Googling it, just off the top of your head, name one. Name 10 famous male artists, like painters. I bet you can name 10 if you really thought about it. Hell, 4 of them are Ninja Turtles. So one of them is a famous PBS painter. But that's going to my point that I think women have a better early game, almost like life, really. I think women have a better early game, but if you can survive, if you can get to that same level, I think men have a better late game. So as long as you don't get, I guess, as long as you don't die in that early game to women, I think males do have a better, later on, like we snowball better, I guess you could say. It's still on what? It's still on what, Noxious? Tell me what it's on. But yeah, I think they have an easier start, but we have a stronger finish overall. Kind of it's like the art thing, and it's like how like 99% of all good, of all the best golfers in the world at the time were white males, but the top one happened to be a black and Asian male. So like the rest of the field, is white male, but the one at the very, very, very top is not that demographic. Same thing with, I think, with anything that has a social interaction. Women have a better, women are all filling up the, that massive bottom rank, but I think men, the closer to the top you get, the more it's male dominated. I haven't thought about it too much, but I'm sure I could think of some reason that it's a thing. I'm sure there's some good logical social reason for it, but I haven't actually thought about the streaming thing too much. I don't think anyone, male or female, are particularly better than the other at streaming or podcasting or vlogging or whatever it is. So we're done with that. So we don't have to get canceled any more than I'm going to. I should have transitioned into this. Thank you, Sancho, for coming by. Thank you, everyone from Sancho's stream or whatever stream that was. I can't actually tell where y'all guys came from, but thank you for raiding me, coming by. I should have transitioned to this earlier because it relates to the American healthcare system and how ridiculous it is. So just to be, thank you, sir. You have a good night. You have a good stream. Nice job on getting affiliate. Nice job on you got your emotes right. Nice job on getting approved for those. I'll have to stop by next time I get a chance. You were doing something tonight, weren't you? That's okay. You gotta go. We'll get back to you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for getting thank you for being good. Thank you for being awesome. The American healthcare system is a funny thing. Okay, so first of all, I always like looking at these results. American healthcare is just the one you typed. American healthcare glitzy. I don't know what that is. They'll show my name. That's cool. American healthcare lyrics. That's the name of a song apparently. American Healthcare Lab. American Healthcare Capital. Oh, that's money, not the physical capital. Okay. American Healthcare North Carolina Benefits Mech Association. Okay. Anyway, let's look up American Healthcare. Just to give you, there we go. That's American Healthcare right there. So basically, my family's going down to Mexico tomorrow to do, I don't know what they're going for, but they're picking up me some insulin from Mexico. Down there for 10 vials. This many for 10 vials of my insulin. It costs something like $60. In America, it cost $875 for that same insulin. Let me say this again. In Mexico, where there are gangs of murdering, raping, psychopaths just roaming the streets casually, they have intensely reduced healthcare costs compared to America. This country, that is like 80% desert with, like I said, drug cartels running around killing busloads of people just casually at will, has a over $800 difference in tubes of insulin. The only new technology in my insulin is the way it's actually produced. So it costs a little bit of money, I'm sure, to actually come out with the technology that went into making these ones. Let me show you so you can tell. So here's the old-fashioned syringe, right? Here's how it looks. You got the tube, you got the plunger, you got the needle. The new one looks like this. So yeah, a little bit of technology, R&D went into making these, right? And that's fine. You got to make your money back somehow. But when you have the difference of, I'm going to go up here. Where am I? Am I good? Yeah. When you have 875 versus, I'm going to go down here, $60. The mind-boggling difference is, it becomes infuriating, like absolutely infuriating. Let me. I haven't done the math. Let me go do the math on my phone real quick. Let me pull up this. Let me pull up my calculator here. 875 divided by 60 is 14 and a half. 14 and a half. It costs 14 and a half times in America what it costs in Mexico. You have to remember something. Oh shit. One of my favorite streamers came on here. I actually love this guy. Great commentary. Better than mine, maybe. Anyway, 14 and a half times the cost up here that it does over there in Mexico. Now, we knew, if you've been in America and you're not sheltered, you're not cloistered in your tiny little world, your tiny little life, you understand that not everybody has perfect healthcare or perfect health insurance where you can just casually walk down to your local doctor and, put a 20 in his donation box and walk out with all the health that you could ask for. Not everyone gets to do that, unfortunately. Some of us have to pay, out of pocket for pretty much everything. I think I paid like a couple $100 a few months ago for medical stuff, and then my family pitched in for some other stuff. If I went by Mexico, I'd be like super fucked. I'd just be dying slowly, like every day. But my main point is that American healthcare is a fucking ripoff. And if I could, I would move somewhere else. Honestly, I don't know about Mexico, but I would definitely move somewhere else because this is one story. There's stories of folks going to get in there, half their hand chopped off, and going to the doctor, and the surgeons ask them which fingers they want to have put back onto their freaking hand because insurance won't cover the other fingers. There was some inspirational story about a guy getting all these vacation days donated to him because he was sick with cancer. And the American school system, or the school system that he was in at the time, only gave him around 3 weeks or so. And so he had to literally get down on his knees and beg his coworkers to come and save him with their sick days. And that was supposed to be inspirational. I'm not going to stick on it for too long, just because. Again, I could stay on it for the rest of the night, and because I should have wrote it into my other thing. So that was my fault. Like I said, this is the first time I've done this type of thing in 3 months? Oh my god, it's been so long. My last topic that I have here is Wizards of the Coast. If you don't know what that is, it's a company that makes D&D. It's a company that makes Magic the Gatherino, and they also make Keyforge, and they make a lot of stuff. Last year, in fact, just for Magic the Gathering, they made 33 products. They put out 33 products just for Magic the Gathering. This is partially why I got into to Pokemon. Well, to be honest, it was 90% of the reason why I got into Pokemon. Magic is, and I'm on this topic because I might or might not open up more Magic stuff in the future. I don't think I have too many Magic the Gathering fans here, but it might not be a big, MTG pack opener in the future. And the reason for that is because they produced 33 products in the past year, and I think in 2019, late 2019, they had one of their marketing guys on there talking about, or one of the product guys on there talking about their products, and they asked him, they kept grilling him on prices for certain products, and it got to the point where he couldn't evade the question anymore. He couldn't duck and dodge anymore. They got him finally on the face with a good question, eventually, and he just ended up saying, maybe this product isn't for you. Maybe this product isn't for me. It was a day, and Mark Rosewater, the main guy that interacts with the community, the chief designer over there for the game, didn't correct him. The CEO, PR team, didn't correct him. A week went by, they didn't correct him. A month went by, they didn't correct him. So everyone just sort of took that message and said, well, maybe, 28, 29 of your 33 products this year just aren't for me. I said, well, for like a year and a half, at least a year, well, maybe just Magic isn't for me. Maybe, Pokemon Company International deserves my money better. Maybe, this Ayuzi. I'm trying to recite the name of this camera company. It's Ayuzi. It's one of those copy and paste Chinese companies that pop up and are going to be out of business in like a month. But maybe they deserve my money. Maybe the folks on Steam deserve my money. Maybe the guys that made Civilization 6 deserve my money. Maybe the guys that made House Flippers, which is a really stupid but a fun game. Maybe the guys that made House Flippers deserve my money. Like I said, maybe Pokemon deserves my money. I play a deck building game from DC. Maybe they deserve my money. Maybe those products are for me. Because the guy said it and they never corrected him. Maybe this product, maybe this entire company, maybe this entire business model isn't for me. I haven't bought a single. They have these things called secret layers, and it's really hard to describe to somebody who doesn't play the game. But it's basically, I don't know. It's hard it's really hard to describe. They're reprints of cards that people like playing, and they're done in a premium style, with alternate art and their foil, and they're sold separately for just ludicrous amounts of money, just insane amounts of money. And to be fair, the guy was actually talking about how those products are the ones that are mostly not for us. But like I said, nobody came along and corrected him. Nobody said anything different than what the official statement was said to us. Maybe this product is not for you. Let me see. Let me show you some of these cards just to have a good visual. Oh, Secret Layer Walking Dead. I'm not going to get too far into this, but here's what some of the secret layers are. Cool alternate art. Because you have a normal art that comes on these cards, and then you have alternate arts, you have promo arts. You have foils, you have, mechanically the same, but visually different stuff. And these are pretty, right? These are really pretty. See? But the issue, like I said, is you're selling separate cards for a premium that maybe just isn't for me. And until I'm just, like raking in donations, or until Wizard sends me one for bitching them out about it. that'd be the ultimate irony. If Wizards actually sent me one of these things, just like almost as a fuck you. I'm open to it. I will give them my honest opinion. But the price, like I said, it's going to come down to the price. So in a year from now, if I get one, if I'm still opening up Wizard stuff or Magic stuff, and they send me one, I will grill the shit out of them. But they apparently don't mind that. Like I tell everyone, no press is bad press. No news is as long as your name is in people's heads, that's good. But my whole point was that 33 products in 2020, and I want to say that number was before December. Yeah, that's oh boy, that's a lot of products. Now, do we have to buy these products? No, we don't have to buy them. Half of them were these secret layer things. Half of them were these cool little premium products. Oh boy, that word's been thrown around more in the past year or two than anything else from Wizards. premium. This is a premium pack, a premium box. It costs us 10 more cents to lay some horribly done foiling over these cards and to pay these guys, $20 for their art. So we're going to go ahead and charge you, 5 times the normal price for these. Maybe this product isn't for you. You just grab your nuts and just say, suck these. Maybe this dick isn't for you, Wizards. I'm sorry. It's a real debate in my head right now. Maybe I'll put out like Twitter polls or something. I say that I instantly laugh because like I have 40 followers on Twitter and like 25 of those guys came from a Steam card, a Steam giveaway that I had, which is fine. That's the point. If I put out any poll, like I think one vote to win it. Like one vote would just win the entire poll. And that would be what I did for like the following, month or so. I say, hey guys, should I open up more Pokemon, more Magic? Should I try to play more games? Which isn't going to be too common in the future for technical reasons. But I can open up Pokemon, open up Magic, open up art, or do more art, more of these talking head things if you enjoy this. Well, even if you don't, because I enjoy this more. This is like my initial format. This is like my strength that I would work on and sort of perfect over time. Podcasting, chatting with people. I can chat your ass under the table. You challenge me, you dare me, I can talk for 24 hours straight. And I would for, for good personal and social profit, I guess you could say. But yeah, so the whole entire point, in summary, I'm not sure if MTG is for me. 33 products, which again, you don't legally have to buy. You don't technically, there's no obligatory purchase just because they put out a product. But if you're not putting out products for everybody, what are you doing? Why are you? I mean, I know why. It's because Hasbro bought out the company like 3 or 4 years ago, and so now they're having to squeeze their little wizards out. They have to squeeze the wizards for all the money they can get. And Magic is infinitely more profitable than Dungeons and Dragons and Keyforge. I'm not even sure if they put out a new Keyforge, deck or game in the past couple years. I don't know the last time I even saw Keyforge news. I know they come up with D&D stuff frequently, but that's, $30, $40 for the book, for the campaign thingy. I don't know what they call them. But it's not like these right here. What were these, like $30 a piece? And you're supposed to buy 3 of them, so that's $150 for these 5 cards. So you tell me what's more profitable. Some shiny cards here, or a book. It's gonna be the cards. Because books are horribly, some of the profit margins on books even are just horrifically thin. Even ones that are expensive to us, we have to pay back all that other stuff for production and whatever else, goes into making books. So yeah, that's where my point of Wizards and Magic ends. I don't know if Magic is going to be for me in the future. Pokemon is for me in the future. I technically have this unopened sucker. I was going to stream this later, but I kind of want to save it and add this to something else. It's a little trainer's toolkit that came out like 6 months ago. Walmart didn't have them at the time. They finally do. They finally have them, and they had a lot the last time I took a peek. We'll go over that later, though, if I ever do that. I did one big opening for YouTube exclusively. So if there's any Pokemon fans here that didn't check that out, go check my YouTube out under the same name, Smug Jackalope, and it will be there. But this one's not going to be an exclusive. I'm going to do this on Twitch, just in case anybody comes by and gets to get my 4 codes that are in there, and just have a little fun with me whenever I do open that. But yeah, Pokemon is for me in the future. Art, I'm going to do it one time in the future, or this week. I'm going to try to do one art every week, at least one of these talking head things every week. Trying to get back to opening every week, but to be honest, I kind of blew my weekly money I kind of blew my weekly load because I was expecting that stimulus money. Never came in. They have one as of today filming this. They have less than 1 day. We'll say one calendar day to deposit that money. Otherwise, I get to claim it on my tax returns, which will probably get back in a few months because I'm not even going to go into all that all that stupidity. Anyway, point is, I for the past week or so, I've been on low budget, survival mode because I mistakenly expected the smooth transition of money from their account to my account like it happened last time. But why would it happen? Why would that ever happen? That doesn't make sense, right? Why would you do things well twice when you could just do them well once and just completely fuck over the second time? Just completely forget about doing it well the second time. So, the point is, I would like to do one product opening every once a week, one art thing every week because I am enjoying my progress with art. One talking head thingy once every week, and then I'm trying to talk to some people out there in Twitch world, in Twitch land, to try and come on and do some sort of tag team kind of thing. Like, people have said Uno is pretty fun to kind of chill and basically do what I'm doing now, just kind of sit here and talk to you guys. They said that's kind of how Among Us is and Fall Guys. If I play any popular games, it's probably going to be while playing one of those, with somebody else on one of their games. Now, it'll be my stream, but that's going to be like the flex spot probably in the future. Because if I play any games whatsoever, it's going to be briefly, and it's going to be like off-meta stuff. Now, if I play with other people, it's basically going to be the network, cynically. Like, it's just there to get my audience to a different type, you know what I mean? But, so that's also a very strong possibility in the near future. There was a point that I wanted to touch on. There was something that I was going to say that, Jesus, I completely lost it. I just completely lost my train of thought here. Give me a second. I'm going to think. There's something. Let's see, games, product stuff, art. Oh, my schedule or lack thereof. I'm not going to have one. If you're watching this, just don't expect a schedule. Just pretend like this is, a podcast that you can come along or a vlog or YouTube. You can just come along and pick it up and put it down. Sub, don't sub, follow, don't follow. So schedules are, I don't know if any streamer is going to tell you this outright, but schedules are for us, for the content creators, so that you can come by and donate to us. You can say it's a little bit for y'all, if you want to come along and hop in the chat. But if you're scheduling your life around any one of us, I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't do that. Don't schedule your day around a streamer. None of us are that entertaining. None of us are that educated or eloquent. None of us are. There might be a few folks that play like high level games, but don't revolve your life around a stranger schedule like that. That's what I was saying. Having a schedule is mostly for me, so that I can have a scheduled time to do my little song and dance monkey routine and get those donations in the future, which is the point of why I'm even saying this. I'm not affiliated, I'm not partnered, so there's no real point for me to have a schedule right now. If I do get affiliated one day, whenever that might be, then we'll get a schedule. And then I can start having a reason for everybody to come by at a certain time and kind of make that schedule worth it for all of us, right? What's funny is that, God, I just missed it again. Am I hungry? I think I'm hungry. Anyway, it has been fun, guys. This is this is probably my most natural stream type, to be honest. It feels natural. My computer, this laptop, is not overheating like it does with pretty much any game whatsoever while I'm streaming. I'm not burping up. Hey, I didn't burp up that water. Look at that. What do you know? Feeling pretty good. Happy I got back into it. Happy that everyone, Sancho and the crew, the Poke crew, came by and blew me up. Very happy about that. Happy that anyone to come by and watch this. Any subs, any follows. I think as long as you follow, you are subbed. So if you follow and sub, thank you. You know, YouTube, Twitch, what else? What socials? You know, there's a link. There's a link somewhere down there to something or other. I don't know. Who gives a fuck? Thanks for coming by. I will see you cats around.